right now at 7.
The unprecedented move in the name of earthquake safety. The shocking changes just ordered for a huge Bay Area reservoir that is a key source of drinking water.
And the racially charged attack on an elderly man in San Francisco outraged local leaders, speaking out just minutes ago.
I didn't see anyone in that video try to stop what was happening from going on.
Were you caught off guard?
Yes, I was.
Plus, we sit down one-on-one with Oakland's fired police chief. Her plan to use the feds to fight back.
And he just signed an $85 million contract to play ball. So why is Madison Bumgarner at a rodeo? The story blowing people's minds tonight.
I don't know Mason Saunders yet, but he's a pretty impressive guy.
And breaking news, a 12-year-old girl killed in a hit-and-run crash in Castro Valley. CHP tells us she was walking with a friend on the crosswalk when she was hit. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. It happened just before 3:30 on Crow Canyon and Mantor Road. Police are looking for a suspect in a black Ford F-150 pickup truck who was last seen heading toward 580. Authorities have not released the name of the victim. Also right now on the KPIX 5 News at 7 and streaming on CBSN Bay Area, the feds say Santa Clara County's largest reservoir must be drained over earthquake risks. Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ken Bastida. The Anderson Reservoir east of Highway 101 between Morgan Hill and San Jose has been ordered drained starting in October. Regulators say the 240-foot dam is at risk of collapsing if a major earthquake hits. Valley Water says the project could have an impact on the district's 2 million customers, and it could require everyone to conserve water use. The district also says that draining the water from Anderson will likely kill wildlife downstream in Coyote Creek and could result in unsafe consequences.
I'm a little surprised that they waited so long because the state Division of Dam Safety seems to be allowing the water district to go at this slow pace. And then, of course, you know, there's inflation and re-engineering and the price just keep going up and up and up. And
the Valley Water knew about the dam's problems way back in 2008 after an engineer found that a magnitude quake of 6.6 or higher could cause the dam to fail. The district has plans to rebuild the dam, but it has faced numerous delays.
Developing now, a video that went viral on Twitter now has the attention of the San Francisco Police Department. It appears to show a racially charged attack on an elderly Asian man who was out collecting cans. That video is so hard to watch. Someone captured this disturbing video in the Bayview. Onlookers can be heard mocking the man and yelling racial obscenities at him while a man swings at him with a trash picker. The video was posted last night and has more than 700,000 views. Now, San Francisco police are looking into it.
Seeing something like that is very disheartening. I didn't see anyone in that video try to stop what was happening from going on. And so again, that's why we have to educate our community about how to treat each other right and how to make sure we work together to stop bullying, to stop assault, and to stop any type of madness like this.
Just a few hours ago, San Francisco Mayor London Breed tweeted about the incident. She says in part the actions depicted are shameful and not reflective of the San Francisco we can and should be. Violence, bullying, and harassment are unacceptable and have no place in our city.
Also tonight, we're hearing from Oakland's ousted police chief. Ann Kirkpatrick says that she was blindsided by the decision of the police commission and her former boss, Mayor Libby Schaaf. KPIX 5's Juliette Goodrich sat down with Kirkpatrick, who is now weighing her legal options.
The mayor praises me, but I'm terminated. I don't understand.
7 elected volunteer members of the Oakland Police Commission have the power to fire a police chief without cause with the mayor's approval.
Even the federal monitor who was here 3 weeks ago says to me in his closing meeting with me one-on-one, he said, "Ann, you are deep in the red zone," meaning if you're a football fan like I am, that means you're real close to the goal line. I am saddened, I'm embarrassed, I'm humiliated by it, but I will embrace that. I will move on.
Oakland's Police Officers Association has publicly voiced its disappointment over the firing. Kirkpatrick said in her 38 years of law and law enforcement, she has never come close to being terminated. What do you do now? You're fired. Do you fight back? What do you do?
I plan to, and will be asking the Department of Justice to come in, open an inquiry into this whole reform process, because something's wrong.
Kirkpatrick says she stands by all of her calls in judgment, specifically when she refused to fire 4 Oakland police officers for the shooting death of Joshua Pollock.
My integrity is not up for sale. I make my calls, whether it's in the shooting or not.
Kirkpatrick says she believes in a Citizens Oversight Committee and supports it, but questions where the checks and balances are.
But to have the authority to terminate the police chief is an extraordinary power that I think even the residents of Oakland are surprised.
Kirkpatrick says she also believes she was fired for refusing to do a favor for one of the commissioners. She says more information will be forthcoming. In Oakland, Juliette Goodrich, KPIX 5.
Neighbors of the Palo Alto couple rescued in Marin County are getting ready to welcome them home in a big way. Some have placed banners and balloons at the home of Ian Irwin and his wife Carol Koparski. The couple went on a hike on Valentine's Day near Inverness when they got lost in the woods. Rescuers presumed they were dead, but they were eventually found and airlifted out over the weekend.
So fair to say you're happy that they've been found?
Oh, as soon as I saw it that night on TV, I think the whole world is already having a party for them. I feel I'm part of that.
And I was so ecstatic, and I told everybody at work. I was just overjoyed. I was so happy for them.
It was pretty amazing. The couple is still recovering in the hospital tonight.
Well, with global fears over the coronavirus spreading, Bay Area businesses are feeling the impact, of course, especially in San Francisco's Chinatown. And today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tried to calm some of those fears. KPIX 5's Andrea Borba live with more on her visit there. Andrea?
Well, Ken, the Speaker's walkabout through Chinatown comes as global fears tanked global markets over the expanding footprint of the coronavirus today. On the streets of Chinatown, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was urging customers to come back to the San Francisco neighborhood after fears over the coronavirus have left streets empty for weeks.
Also to say to everyone, you should come to Chinatown. Precautions have been taken by our city. We know that there's a concern about tourism traveling all throughout the world, but we think it's very safe to be in Chinatown and hope that others will come.
While the fear over the pneumonia-like disease could be seen locally.
This place is dead right now. I mean, every restaurant is empty. Every shop is empty. There's no tourists walking around here.
The impact is beginning to be felt globally, with the Dow Jones plunging nearly 1,000 points in the opening minute. Airlines, the tech sector, and companies that rely on parts from China, as well as Chinese customers, are taking a hit.
You go from epidemic to pandemic, and then you have world fear and global fear.
Italy now has the largest outbreak of coronavirus in Europe, not far from the financial center in Milan, with many more financial woes being seen around Asia.
It is sad that what's happening in South Korea, what's happening in China, has an impact on the economy. But first and foremost, we care about the people. And we pray, as I started today at the temple, to pray for the people in China and the rest of the world who have been affected by the coronavirus. And again, pray for the people here.
Business owners in Chinatown have a simple pitch. Come back. It's safe.
Don't let this kind of virus scare you up.
Now, no, there is no coronavirus in San Francisco or Chinatown. The 21 confirmed cases in the state of California are all in hospital isolation or quarantine. It is safe to come shop here. Ken, Elizabeth.
Andrea Borba live in Chinatown. Thank you, Andrea.
Still ahead, a devastating and deadly hit and run. A toddler killed in Solano County, and the suspect, a family member.
It's in a way heavily on everybody involved, and especially the family, but also the investigators that have to go through this.
I've seen a picture of him doing some amazing things. And that's not easy.
Bit of a shocker from former Giant Madison Bumgarner. He is now using an alias to play another sport.
All this activity and no arrests from police. The Bay Area neighborhood overrun by stunt drivers.
All that plus record-breaking heat in the middle of winter in the Bay Area. That's what looks like is on tap for Tuesday. But then, as we look over the city of San Francisco, there are changes ahead. Talk about that when we cover the forecast when we come back.
Wow, wild weekend in San Francisco. There were 4 sideshows with more than 50 cars each. No arrests, though. Residents complained the noise woke them up when crowds rushed in to watch cars smoking up the street and doing donuts. Police responded, but no citations, arrests, or impounds. Officers say they are working to identify the participants. A couple of years ago, former Giants pitcher Madison Bumgarner hurt himself in a motorcycle accident.
It turns out he is still up to some dangerous things with his new team. Bumgarner actually competes in professional rodeos under the alias Mason Sanders. Nobody knew. The Athletic was the first to notice him in a few photos that were posted on Facebook by a thing called Rancho Rio in Arizona. There's Bumgarner on top of a horse, roping a bull just a couple of weeks before he signed that $85 million deal with Arizona. The Diamondbacks were unaware of Mason Sanders until now.
I don't know Mason Saunders yet, but he's a pretty impressive guy. We'll say that. I've seen a picture of him doing some amazing things, and that's not easy. He's a pretty impressive guy. We'll leave it at that.
To be correct, that was a steer, not a bull. This is no bull. If you're wondering what event Mad Bum does, it's team roping. Unclear if the D-backs are going to tell him to knock it off.
Yeah, I think they'd be a little bit worried about that. We're a little bit worried about this extended dry spell, but in our case, we can't bench anything. We've got a little rain on the way, maybe for Sunday. Highs today look pretty darn good. Santa Rosa in the mid-70s, and for midwinter, yeah, I guess record territory. San Francisco, 66 degrees. And overnight lows tonight, you would expect them to be warm, and they will be, with Oakland down to 46 degrees, Fairfield at 46, and San Jose 45. We do get light offshore winds for the overnight hours, and that'll keep things dry. Not that windy, but it's just to show you that it's a dry direction. It's one of the reasons why the North Bay is going to warm right up tomorrow. And it has been dry. San Francisco all February can't get any drier. It didn't rain at all. It did in Phoenix, in San Diego, in Vegas, and Death Valley, but not us. And it does look like things might change a little bit by the weekend. Overnight tonight, we'll have clear skies. Venus is out there again in the southwestern sky, gleaming away. So is the star Sirius, the brightest star, aside from our own sun, in the sky. Sunny Tuesday, mild to warm afternoon for us tomorrow, and then maybe by the weekend, clouds are going to increase, and there is at least the suggestion we could get a few showers on Sunday. In the meantime, it is warm in San Mateo, 72 degrees, in Hayward, 68, in Campbell, 75, and Morgan Hill, 76 degrees. Over in the East Bay, the numbers will be in the mid-70s, with Pleasant Hill at 76 degrees. Right along the Carquinez Strait, can you imagine this time of the year? It's usually chilly along the strait, but with a bit of an offshore push, Vallejo gets all the way up to 80 degrees, in Benicia, 80 as well. Out of Travis, it'll be 79. Up in the North Bay, look at Santa Rosa, 80 degrees for tomorrow, 82 at Sonoma, and 82 for Napa. That's record territory. 81 for Petaluma, and even in Novato, 79 for tomorrow. Around Ukiah and Lakeport and Clear Lake, mid-70s, sunshine, and St. Helena, 79 degrees. In the extended forecast, sunny and warm week, with plenty of sun between now and Thursday. Friday, we begin to increase the clouds. Ditto for Saturday, a variably cloudy weekend. And then Sunday, we get enough clouds and maybe enough moisture so that we get that much rain. I've been saying this for 3 weeks. Maybe the fourth time is the charm. When we finally get a shower or two on Sunday, at least that's the way things are shaping up now. An update for you at 11 o'clock. In the meantime, here's Liz.
Thank you, Brian. Well, here's what you missed if you're just getting home right now. An emotional memorial service today in Los Angeles. Thousands packed Staples Center to honor Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. Bryant's widow Vanessa showed strength and fought back tears when speaking publicly for the first time since her husband and daughter and 7 others were killed last month in a helicopter crash.
I'll never get to see my baby girl walk down the aisle, have a father-daughter dance with her daddy, dance on the dance floor with me, or have babies of her own. He was a doting father, a father that was hands-on and present. Babe, you take care of our Gigi.
Michael Jordan spoke about his friendship with Bryant that began when Bryant entered the NBA at just 17 years old.
Kobe was my dear friend. He was like a little brother. Everyone always wanted to talk about the comparisons between he and I. I just wanted to talk about Kobe. When Kobe Bryant died, a piece of me died.
A detour for disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. We're getting new video of Weinstein being rushed to a New York hospital before being taken to Rikers Island jail facility. He started complaining of chest pains and heart palpitations. Hours ago, Weinstein was convicted on 2 counts of rape and sexual assault. His attorney is planning an appeal. On to campaign 2020 now. The focus, South Carolina, where tomorrow 7 Democratic presidential hopefuls will square off in the last debate before Super Tuesday. Tomorrow's debate is hosted by CBS News. You can watch it here on KPIX 5 starting at 5 o'clock. You can watch our local news on CBSN Bay Area, streaming on KPIX.com and on the CBS News app. And we'll have a special edition of the KPIX 5 News at 8 o'clock. Ken?
Thanks, Elizabeth. Coming up next, a heart-wrenching story out of Solano County. A 2-year-old killed in a hit and run, and now police have a family member in custody. But we're learning about his past. And getting guns out of the wrong hands. The Bay Area County taking drastic measures tonight to protect certain crime victims. And the loud and dramatic explosions in San Francisco that keep people awake well into the night.
A driver in Fairfield is behind bars tonight, accused in a deadly hit and run.
Yeah, tonight we learned the victim of that crash is the suspect's 2-year-old nephew. Now, the boy's uncle turned himself in after a massive search. Police say that he had 2 prior DUI convictions. One was pending, and now they're looking into whether he was driving drunk when the toddler was hit. The family and neighbors are naturally devastated.
It's sad. It's just heartbroken. The little kid was always full of smile. You see him running around here with a big smile.
Now at 7, a crackdown on guns in Santa Clara County. The DA's office is forming a dedicated unit focused on taking illegal weapons out of the hands of convicted felons, people charged with domestic violence, and people with restraining orders. All of this is in response to a rising number of domestic violence cases.
Often these cases fall through the cracks, and that is a risk that we're not willing to take here in Santa Clara County.
When you disarm someone who is dangerous, you are potentially saving a life.
County supervisors could vote as early as tomorrow whether or not to fund the team permanently.
Coming up next, the stunts that had people in San Francisco saying, hey, keep it down, Neo.
Financial district turned into an apocalyptic scene this weekend with the help of some very realistic pyrotechnics.
Oh, he's never when I'm working. Matrix 4 filming made Market and Pine Street look like a war zone early Sunday morning. Explosions lighting up the sky could be heard from miles, echoing off the buildings. That wasn't all. Low-flying helicopters came as close as 300 feet to the ground. Some people on social media say they didn't appreciate the wake-up call.
San Francisco is such a neat place to film movies. Great backdrop. Thanks for watching at 7. News continues streaming on CBSN Bay Area.